So, hi everybody. We've already gone through 3 slides because I forgot to hit record. So you can catch up. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. So as again, as Danita said, with Facebook, a lot of us have that internal channel that we use within our units to share those pictures of those great events and things. We need that public facing channel too. So if you don't have one, that's something to look at. Talk to your DEs, talk to me, talk to Danita. She's a Facebook master. Most of the things that you see on our council Facebook page, it's Danita that's posting those things for us. So great resources. We talked about QR codes, right? So a QR code is simply that bit of code, you see it in that top left corner there, that makes it real easy for somebody that has a phone to open up their camera, scan that code, and go right to where you want them to go. So those are great things to include in your marketing. In this slide, they've even got some different resources where you can go and take any address, anything that you want to point to, and turn that into a QR code. Now, here in Oregon Trail Council, we are using QR codes. On our flyer, there's a QR code that you can see in the bottom right corner of the flyer there that takes folks right to a YouTube video of the 5 most frequently asked questions for new families coming into Cub Scouting. And on the left side of the screen here, you see sort of the front at the top and back, or however you hand out the business card. We're getting some business cards printed. We test marketed these at Coburg Days and they were very successful. If everybody takes out their phone, opens their camera, and just pointed at that screen, right at that big blue QR code there, in a second or two, it should pick that up. Actually, I'm on a view thing here. There we go. And you should get that address. And if you click that, it's going to tell you that that goes to otcbsa.org/join. You click that link, and it's going to open that right up on your phone. That is the new membership landing page that is public facing. So all of the information about our programs, costs, how to get to beascout.org, all of that information is right there, including some of those videos, pictures of our folks across programs, things like that. So that's a great way to use a QR code in the things that you're doing. You can point it right to your Facebook page, your unit website, whatever is appropriate for you. The flyers and business cards and things are some of the resources that are available for units as well. You want to update your beascout.org pin. Oh boy, is this one important. The #1 link that comes up when you put in anything in Google about joining scouting is beascout.org. Somebody's going to go in there, they're going to put in their address, their zip code, and we want to make sure that if they're in your area, they're seeing not only your unit, but current information for your unit. We recently had an issue where about 30 of our units' pins were shut off. We fixed that, but we really encourage everybody to go in, make sure that that pin information is updated. That is a great resource. A lot of people find us through beascout.org. Now, how do you do that? Well, you go to my.scouting, you log in with your account. Now, if you are a Key 3 member, a Key 3 delegate, or a membership function in your registration, and if you got questions about what that means, hit me up. I'll give you the answers. You can do this. So you're going to go in, you're going to click on your unit under the menu, you're going to click on Organization Manager, and then you're going to click on Unit Pin. So I'm going to, let's see, how can I do this? Bear with me just a second. I got so many things going on. All right, I'm going to end that slideshow for just a second. I'm going to pull this out of the way, bring this up. So here I am in Be a Scout. Is everybody seeing that? Or are we seeing each other now?
We can see it. It says your session is timed out.
That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and log back in. I'm logging in as me. So menu, I'm going to come down here to crew 2141, which I happen to be a member of that unit still. So you're seeing a unit level login. There's organization manager. I click on organization manager. Here the information on my unit comes up, crew 2141. I'm going to click right here on unit pin. This is where I change anything on my unit pin that I want to change. Now it's about 24 hours for it to show up again on beascout.org. But in here, I can say that the council can do updates. I can say the unit does the updates. I can appear or not appear on Be a Scout if for some, I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to be on beascout.org, but that's your unit's choice. You can turn that on or off. You can allow people to apply online or not. I can't imagine why you wouldn't want them to, but that is a unit choice. You can update contact information. You can write a little thing about your unit. You can show your meeting address with the map. And then up here, it gives you an overview of what people are going to see. So that's where you go in and you update all the stuff on Be a Scout. All right.
That's a really important place. The additional unit information, this is a great example because it says we are an active co-ed crew. It talks about all the great things. You want to make that as appealing to your audience as possible, because when they're looking this up, maybe 6 different packs or troops have shown up in your area. And so if all it says there is contact Cub Master Joe Smith, that's not very exciting. That doesn't make somebody want to join your unit. So you want to put on there, you know, a lot of community service is important to us. We go on high adventures. We are open to the family, whatever things make your unit unique. There again, if you have a Facebook page linked to you can list it there. Anything that makes you appealing to the people looking for a unit. So make sure it's not just basics, and that that's your marketing right there. It's all about letting people know what you got.
Indeed. All right. So as you're setting up a Facebook page, there's a ton of information in this with links and things that you can follow to learn all sorts of things from the National Council about how to set up a Facebook page. It's not hard. Facebook really walks through it. Show of hands, and a lot of cameras and things are shut off, but how many people have a unit public facing Facebook page? So that if somebody goes and searches your unit on Facebook, they're going to see something that they can actually see pictures, ask questions, do whatever. I'm seeing a lot of that's great. That is excellent.
All 3 of my units do.
Good. Yeah, it's essential. It really is, people. Even if you hate Facebook, it's essential.
I'm one of those people. I hate Facebook.
But
It's a great tool. Now, a lot of people are on it. So, you know, why does the bank robber go to the bank? Because that's where the money is. Well, if we want to talk to the people, we got to go to where the people are. And Facebook is where mom is still. Kids, not so much. But that decision maker mom, yeah, she's still on Facebook for sure. I'm setting up and getting ready to get all this stuff out there, right? So we want to make sure that we're following these 5 key steps. We want to make the most out of our social media. So we want to create that calendared event for the joining activity, whatever it is. We want to boost that. You know, boosting really does help, and it's cheap. You know, $5-10 will make sure that a whole lot of people are going to see your event. You want to set up about a 6-week social media campaign. What's that mean, Rob? Wait a minute, campaign. There's information and handouts available from the National Council on exactly how to do that. We're going to cover a little bit of it tonight. I'm going to move through some of this stuff pretty quick though, because again, you can get the handouts. You want to be hyper local in your marketing. Scouting lives at the local level. That means the unit. You want to just blast the area that your unit lives in. You want to hit the school with flyers, posters, yard signs. You want to go to the stores that your families, the people that are looking for scouting, they're going to go to. A lot of stores have community boards. Put a flyer on that board. Put some business cards on that board. Find people that have marquee things and say, you know, hey, Dairy Queen, could we put a little thing says join Cub Scouts with our phone number on it? maybe they say yes. Worst thing that they can say no. But if you don't ask, the answer is definitely no. So, go see some of these places. Visit some of your local businesses that are family friendly and ask if you can put a poster in their window or a yard sign out there. And all of these posters, yard signs, flyers, all of that is available from us as well. And then spreading the word. If you are the only person in your unit that is trying to let the entire area know how cool your Cub Scout pack or your Scouts BSA troop is, you are the lone voice in the wilderness and no one's going to hear you. We know from current marketing research that people need to see, hear, feel, smell, taste, touch a concept somewhere between 7 and 14 times before it sinks through all the other noise and they go, oh, this thing called scouting must be a thing. I see it everywhere. They've got to see it 7 to 14 times. If they see it once, it's like, oh, yeah. See it twice? Oh, yeah. 6 times they start to go, hey, wait a minute. 7 times now it's starting to sink in, and then they may be willing to take some action. So in the tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them, here we go. Let's look at it in a little bit of detail. Every campaign needs a landing page. That is your Facebook event for your joining night. So you want to make sure that that's up there. It's real easy to set up that calendar event. Make sure that you do it on your public facing page as well as your internal page if you're running 2 pages. You don't want to just put it on your internal page. Hey, everybody that's already in our scout troop, we're going to have a joining night. Woo! Got to get the word out there. You want to increase the impact. Add an image or a video. Nobody looks at just text. You got to have something that catches the eye. You want to write that compelling description, but keep it short. Bullet point, bullet point. It's awesome. It's fun. It's cool. Whatever it is you want to say. Often in scouting, we try to oversell. So we want to be careful about that. And you want to make sure that you're including your unit's registration URL. And every unit has a URL, Universal Resource Locator, that will take them directly to the Be a Scout page for your unit with your joining information. That information is also available in that unit pin section. So you can grab that information and use that in your flyer. You can make a QR code to it. You can do all of that. And again, you can learn how to create a Facebook calendar event right in this handout. Danita, am I missing anything about events?
No, I think that, our big thing that we've been talking about is you don't want to have just a recruiting night. You want to have a scout celebration that you're inviting new families to. So the name of it and things is important. So if you just call it Get to Scouting or Join the Adventure or whatever, make sure all your current families are coming. If it's a pack, you got to have the older kids there. So you want to have a troop there to participate with you. It's super important for families, the moms, to see what the future is for their scouts. So make sure you have a girl troop there and a boy troop there to help you with your recruiting.
Excellent points. All right. So in this packet, there's some sample copy that you can use. You can literally copy and paste this stuff in and tweak it to your pack or your troop and post that. So great resources there. On the brand center, there's tons of pictures and things. If you're using local pictures, and I strongly encourage, use local pictures, show your kids doing fun stuff. Make sure that you've got the talent release on the health form is signed and that you've got the permission from the parents to use those images. You want to boost that event, and again, boosting's pretty cheap. Wow, this got messed up a little bit here. Apologize for that. I'll fix that before we make this available, change some of that so it fits on the screen a little better. But boosting is basically paying Facebook just a few dollars, usually 5 to 10, over a specific period of time to post that message more. Remember, Facebook's a business. Yes, you can post it for free, but for just a couple of bucks, you're going to get a way bigger impact, and you can actually geolocate or geo-target your Facebook ad or your event. And here it talks about some of the things that you might want to target for, like men and women in the ages of 25 to 49. That is the basic age group of most of the people that have kids now that are Cub Scouting age. If you're a troop, maybe you want to go a little higher, maybe not, I don't know. You can also target interests like parents of elementary age kids, parents of this grade, parents of that grade. You can do secondary interests like outdoors, camping, hiking, STEM. STEM is a big one. A lot of parents are looking for science, technology, engineering, math opportunities, and we've got a ton of them. We build STEM into almost everything we do. You can do a general radius. So if your meeting is going to be at a specific school, you can do a radius around that school, and everybody that comes into that area that has Facebook is going to get that notification. You want to be careful that you don't over target, because you can target yourself to a point that nobody's going to see it. I'm looking for, older guy with glasses with a bald head who likes to talk a lot and calls himself a field director. You'll get me, and that's about it. So, you want to make sure that you keep it pretty general in your targeting, but think about who's that mom that we're trying to get to. We're going to talk a little bit about social media campaign, and there is an outline that is available at the 6-week schedule for posts that will walk you through step by step how to build that campaign, how to put that information out there, because remember, it's not a one and done. Right? Our joining night's not a one and done. Our marketing's not a one and done. The invitation's not the one and done. So we got to think a little strategically here about when and how do we want to be getting information to people so that we make sure it gets in front of them to give them the best opportunity to learn about everything that scouting can offer. And I am hitting these really quick. So if you've got questions, again, please stop me. If you've got things you want to add, please make sure you chime in. Again, going hyper local. We talked about a lot of this. Ask local businesses to distribute flyers. A great example is a local pizza, putting a flyer on every delivery. They might do that for you. Doesn't hurt.
All of that, you need to use your connections. What businesses do your parents own? What Lions Club do you have parents involved in? Who belongs to American Legion? Use your connections to get the word out. It's much more effective than just walking in randomly. If you know that Joe and his wife own an Italian restaurant, then you talk to them about putting flyers up at their restaurant. So use your connections.
I'm trying to catch up to my notes. Thank you, Danita, because that helped. I haven't flipped my note pages in a while here. I'm not missing anything. All right. So again, you're seeing a lot of different flyer designs here. All of these are available on the National BSA Brand Center. Easy to get to, easy to access the stuff. You are more than welcome to use anything you want from the Brand Center if you want to print them off. If you want to get stuff from us, we have a Cub flyer. We've got a boy troop flyer. We've got a girl troop flyer. We're developing some other flyers. One of them that we're working on will show all of our programs in a different kind of a layout. But this is what we have. All you got to do is talk with your district executive. We can customize this area in white here where you see a bit of text, like your unit info here. We can put in there the specific info for your unit, run these things off. If you've got a school that says, yeah, we'll put flyers in the classroom for you. If you can get class counts, we will run them off in batches, 25, 30, 35 for each class. Then the school's not counting them out. Man, the easier that we can make it for the schools, the better chance we have of getting these flyers out. If there's a community board, you can put a flyer up on that community board. If there's a community table, you can put a stack of flyers on that. So flyers, easy for us in the office, and we're glad to do that. Work with your district executives for whichever flyers you want. The backs of our flyers are blank. We are limited to grayscale printing, but we are happy to print your unit flyer or whatever you want on the back. So if you've got specific information that you want to send us, we'll print that on the back for you as well. And if you don't have something on the back, then we've usually got like general scouting information or upcoming event type things that we'll put on there so that there's something for families to learn about. This one's important, and we talked about it already. Many hands make light work. If you are the only person in your unit trying to do all of this, wow, that's a lot for one person. So this is a great opportunity to engage all of your families with some small piece of this, which is going to help you, but it's also going to make them feel like part of the team. The biggest thing that keeps people from volunteering is nobody asks them specifically. You got to ask specifically. If you stand up in front of the group and you say, boy, it would sure be great if somebody could help with, everybody's going to go, yep, it sure would be. So you got to go to the specific person and say, will you be willing to do this piece for me? Can you help our pack by doing this piece? Will you help our troop by? Our kids need you too. It's a lot harder to say no to that or just ignore the ask. So specific asks. And a lot of easy things for people to do. Hey, can everybody put a yard sign in their yard? Okay, that's easy. Does everybody have one store that they could take a flyer to and post it on a community board? Okay, easy. So a lot of these things are super easy. And again, not only does it help bring a lot of your new families that may not be in those registered leadership positions kind of in and feeling like part of the team, but as Randy Hill likes to say, it's cupcake. Ask them to bring the small thing. They feel wonderful because they accomplished that. Now you're building that relationship, and it's easier to get them involved again later in a deeper, more impactful level. Our council commissioner, who is becoming our NST1 commissioner, is with us tonight. And if I remember correctly, Claudette started off as a den leader. Because somebody said, we're going to need one. Claudette, would you be the den leader? So it's that specific ask. And now, national service territory. All right. Timelines and schedules. This goes back to be prepared. One of my favorite quotes for this is always, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So you cannot leave anything to chance. And I know this sounds like a ton of work, and I'm going to say this again at the end. What we do really matters, folks. We're not just tying knots and putting popsicle sticks together. We are literally getting our kids ready to be adults and to solve the problems that our world has. And we can't do that if they're not in the program. We can't do that if we don't surround them with the best adults who are passionate about everything that scouting has to offer and helping them to be ready to be the leaders of the next generation that we're going to need. It is that serious. And it's a heck of a lot of fun. So you want to make sure that you got that. And again, lots of resources available. Adventure On, #Adventure On. That's kind of the national hashtag banner that we're using this year. Tons of resources that are available for you there. In our council, we've got a ton of resources available for you as well. We've got brand new pop-ups that are branded to Oregon Trail Council, Boy Scouts of America, feather flags for beascout.org, Cub Scouting. We've got another one that's for Scouts BSA. We've got the tiger costume. We've got some activities. We've got some water bottle rocket launchers still that we can sign out. We've got 2 Lego Pinewood Derby tracks that can be signed out with Legos. We've got Rain Gutter Regatta. We've got the TC, we've got rubber band shooting gun range that I'm still working on that eventually I'll get done so that can go out. You do have to run that like a BSA range. I know Fred's on here, so I wanted to make sure I said that. Right, Fred? NCAP standards.
Exactly.
Yes. And I've talked with Bill Mangeli, who is our council shooting sports director, and we are going to make some just real quick basic safety training available so that you can be qualified to run that range for kids. And when we talk about getting this stuff from the council, folks, we're really talking about grab and go ready activities for your pack, primarily the packs. No reason a troop can't sign out a Pinewood Derby Lego track either. You know, so these things are available for all of our units. But we want to have this set up so that when you grab it, you're going to have pretty much everything you need to set up, look great, and run a great event. Some other important steps before your joining activity, whatever it is, that big celebration, visit with your principals. You know, if you're waiting for your district executives to go visit your principals, they're doing it, but you're not going to have the same impact. Most of you that are unit leaders are the parents in the schools with the kids. Your principals listen to you. You are their primary customers. Now, taking a district executive along with you, awesome. But you don't need us to go. You can go talk to them about this wonderful program called Adopt a School, where we want to help our kids to be the best citizens that they can be. And of course, Mr. or Mrs. Principal, you know that a child's first real concept of society is what they're learning in school. That is their first community. So we want to help them connect with that community and provide some service. And you can have that conversation. Now you're giving something to school, not asking for something, and you're building the relationship. And there is a link there, that Adopt a School program. You can also Google BSA Adopt a School program. There's a whole page on the national website that has resources and things on how to have that conversation with principals. Now, once you've built that relationship, you start talking about, when is the school's back to school night? Can we have an info table? Can our scouts come to help? Could we run an activity? That's a great time to get the word out about your specific unit recruiting activity, whatever it's going to be, and timing is key. So you want to find out, when's your school back to school night as soon as you can, so that you can schedule with your unit and your resources, so that you're not more than 2 weeks after that back to school night event. You probably don't want to be the night after, but somewhere a week to 2 weeks is great, because it gives people time to react. It gives them time to think about it. It gives them time to plan it into their schedule, but not so long that they're going to forget about it.
One of the things, Rob, is that school PTOs, PTAs, parent associations have been decimated from COVID. So they are all completely lacking in volunteers. So if you call up a local principal and you say, I've got some scouts that would like to come help set up your back to school event, we can help set up the tables and chairs and help serve your, you know, if they're having popsicles or dinner or whatever, and we could run some fun activities for your kids. Can we come do this as a service project to help your school? And I don't know any principals that are going to turn you down. So you show up with your kids in their uniforms or their Class Bs, and you do activities. You have the flyers and things there. You have a parent or two set up specifically to talk about scouting and hand out flyers. You're going to have a huge impact. That's a really, really big thing. And I don't think any schools are going to turn you down right now if you approach it that you're there to help them.
Great point. Thank you. So some things to think about at your joining activity. Number one, make it fun. Don't make it a lecture. Don't oversell scouting. You know, old school thinking was, you know, we had to come in and, you know, convince the parents that it was worth their time, effort, money, all of that. You know, and we talked to brand new parents the first night about the next 10 years of their child's life and becoming an eagle, and too much. Get them in, give them what they need to know. Have a great experience. There's time later for all of the details and things that parents are going to need. So you want to make sure that it's a fun event. Don't oversell scouting. Make it easy. Make sure that new families feel welcome and know how to get involved that night in that event. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that in the way you kind of lay out your area. Make it logical. Make sure that families leave with the info that they need to take their next step, whatever that is. If they join that night, well, what's the step after that? It's the next meeting. If they haven't joined yet, how are you going to follow up with them? And again, that takes us to the last thought. Make it complete. Make sure you have a sign in for follow-up of any new families that don't turn in applications that night. Make sure that you are gathering and updating your information for your returning families, because that's really going to help you with recharter, which October 1, we're all rechartering again. And you can use September and all of these steps getting ready to make sure that your roster is up to date, so that when it comes to recharter, you turn it on, you go, yep, boom, submit, pay it, we're done. It is literally a 15-minute process to do our unit recharter, especially if you've done the pre-work. You want to make sure that you have a welcome packet for every new family, and I would even include a welcome packet for your returning families to make sure that their information is updated as well. And in there, some of the things that are really important, some sort of a welcome letter, something that says, gosh, we are so glad that you're looking at scouting. We can't wait to share the adventures with you and your family. You want to make sure that there's a youth application. So you want those on hand. I say start with that. Here, fill this out. One of the best roundups I ever did, I set up a table with some information stuff. The pack that I was supporting, they were doing water bottle rockets. The families walked in, the kids ran over to the field to blast off water bottle rockets. The parents walked over. I handed them a welcome packet with a youth application on top of it and said, I'm here to answer any questions you've got. The adventure starts with this form in your fee. There's a table right over there to fill it out. Go ahead. We registered more kids that night and I answered fewer questions than I've ever done before. It was amazing. You want to make sure that in that packet, you're including either a parent talent survey or an adult application. Now, the reason that I'm kind of hinging on the adult application, again, you don't want to over ask on the first date, right? You want to give that new family a chance to get in and just feel like they're a family before you say, and we need you to do that in a couple of weeks at the parent organization meeting, right? But a parent talent survey so that you can get some information back from that family that says, oh, you know, mom is a brain surgeon and has access to all of these wonderful things that would help us with this stuff. And, you know, dad is a forestry guy and he knows every plant and animal out there. That's great information to help you, the unit leader, pull them in and make them part of the unit team. You definitely want to have a calendar of upcoming events and meetings. And on that, you want to make sure that you're including that first parent meeting. That's going to be that time that you're going to talk about, well, we need 2 den leaders and we need this and we need, right? Don't do that to families their first night in. They're there to get their kids in and having fun. So let's give them that experience. And then a contact list for your unit leaders. Who's the membership person? Is it the Cub Master? Do you have a membership coordinator? Who's going to be the best person for any new family type questions? Who's the den leader? Make sure that you've got a volunteer that's going to go with each family and show them that list. Oh, you're a 3rd grader. Oh, our 3rd grade bear den leader is this person, and circle it for them. One of the things that I used to do when I was doing roundups and things is I would have people write my information on whatever form they had. And I would say one of the worst things that I've ever heard is we joined and we waited months and nobody ever followed up. Nobody contacted us and we didn't know who to call. Oh, please, please, please don't let that happen. Make sure that your family has good contact information to follow up with the unit with any questions that they've got. Anybody got any ideas of other things that you would like to see included in a welcome packet or things that you've used in your unit to make sure that families had a good experience?
I would say an invitation to some really cool immediate events, such as the Haunted Trails at Camp Baker, that's going to be August 29th, or the outdoor adventure at Junction City Ponds on October the 8th. So make sure you've got something immediately that's going to be really fun for the whole family to go and do and see what scouting is. Don't say, join in September and next July, we're going to have Cub Scout Day Camp. So do something right away that's, even if it's a family hike. We've done family hikes and had 100 people show up. I mean, it's amazing what you can do. So make sure you've got great program going immediately. Don't just set them in the church basement and read them things out of the scout book. Make sure you're out doing fun things.
Great point. Great point. Yeah, and make sure that those are on your unit's calendar, and every family that comes should get that updated calendar. And again, if you need help putting this stuff together, your field staff, your district executives, me, we're here to help you put stuff. We've got templates. We've done this stuff. If you don't have something already, give us a shout. We'll shoot you some ideas, tweak it any way you want for your unit. We're glad to help with any of that. So let's talk about the big night. I think it's really important to make sure that when your families show up, you put them into a real easy flow that makes sense. So when they walk in that door, you want somebody right there that's going to welcome them, and preferably somebody that's kind of knowledgeable in the unit, who's going to recognize the returning families as well as the new families. Hey, I'm Rob. I'm the Cub Master for the pack. It is great to see you. You are, oh, talk to the kids, engage the kids. That is so important. You know, scouting's about the kids, right? So talk to them, get them excited about what they're going to do tonight, and then move the families along. Have a table for new families where you can get them to sign in, give them their welcome packet, walk them through it, answer any questions that they might have about any of the paperwork, and then move them over to some place that they can start filling out paper, and make sure that they know, go over here, fill it out, bring it back. We're going to get you registered tonight and get you on your way, right? At the same time, you want to have a space where you've got your unit's roster information. That's a great opportunity for your returning families to come in and check that information for you so that you can update your roster before recharter. You can collect any fees, let your families know at our kickoff night, we're going to be collecting the fees for the next year. You know, you can kind of pre-program all of this stuff. I've seen units do this over the years, and it is amazing the way it can work. And it stops the big lecture thing too. If you've got a couple of volunteers who are placed to answer specific questions instead of doing the lecture, it just really seems to work a lot better. And I did years of lectures, let me tell you. You want to make sure, most importantly, have a big, fun, hands-on activity that those kids can do that night. Pinewood Derby, right? What a great event, but nobody's carving a block that night. Get the Lego Pinewood Derby track and talk about, when you join Scouts, we're going to have, you can do this out of wood. You get to carve it and design it and, you know, be excited, be engaged. If that's not your personality, find a parent who's a big goof like I am. Call Chris McCullough. He's great at this stuff. Right, Chris? I'm putting him on the spot. I'm voluntolding him. You also want to make sure that as they're moving through there, you've got some sort of a unit display area. Show them the great stuff, put up display boards, you know, show off your unit. I mean, the things that we do in scouting, they don't happen anywhere else. There is no other program that I'm aware of that has the breadth and depth of what we do. We literally have something for everybody. You know, if you're a big jock, man, we're out, we're running, we're gunning, we're climbing, we're doing all of that. If you're a bookworm, oh man, we're all up in STEM. We do math, we're programming computers, we're launching rockets, we're building robots. We got something for everybody. So show off those things that your unit does really well and make sure that your unit's there. This is a celebration. As they move out, make sure somebody says, hey, thanks for coming. Did you have any questions before you go? Did we get your contact information? We're going to be following up with you just to make sure you got everything that you need. Then you want to make sure that somebody's actually doing that. So after the event, get somebody that's going to take that follow-up list and call every new family. Thank them for coming. Thank you so much for coming to our extravaganza, our Cubapalooza, whatever you want to call it. Make sure that they know when that next meeting is. Did they have any questions? Yeah, connect, connect, connect.
Rob, I'd also say at the event, you want treats. Doesn't have to be anything, fancy. You can have a few families bring cut up watermelon. You can have, we did ice cream sundaes one time, and we had some of the leaders bring the ice cream, and we had each kid bring a different treat to go on ice cream sundae, which was a big hit. The kids thought that was so exciting. We had matching bowls out. They could load up their M&Ms and their jelly beans and whatever. Those types of things kids get really excited about. So make sure you make it fun. If they don't have a good time, they're not going to want to come back. So you want families to walk in. You want them to see scouts of all ages. That's really important. Get the troop in there, get the families in there, make sure people are having fun. If you have little giveaway things, if one of your members has, some sort of giveaways that you can do and have treats for them on the way out, ice cream or watermelon or something, just make it a party. Make it something that people want to come back to. But then don't disappoint them when they come to the regular meetings and make the meetings really boring. You've got to keep up that sort of fun, excitement through all of your plans. So the planning for your year is really important.
Yeah, and resources for planning. If you don't have your unit plan put together for this coming cycle, September through May or whatever your unit does, and remember, scouting's a year-round program, so you should be planning something every month. There's great planning resources available. Talk with your unit commissioners, talk with your district executives. We're here to help you with these resources. You want to make sure that you're gathering all of the paperwork and fees and that you've accounted for all of those. Get everything turned into your DE as soon as you can. We're happy to come to roundup nights and help with this stuff. There's only 3 of us on field staff, so we can't be everywhere, but we are going to be everywhere that we can be, and we're glad to help. Once everything gets turned in, you want to check in and keep checking your roster. Make sure that all of those new applications are showing up in your roster. If you're not seeing them, follow up with your district executives, right? Hey, we turned in 4 rosters and I'm only seeing these 2 new kids. Where are the other 2? Okay, well, we'll check, we'll get it. Because that's really the quicker we can get this stuff in, the easier your recharter is going to be, because the information will already be in there. You don't have to do the data entry. You can just go, yep, nope, they're gone. Yep, nope, yep. Submit, pay, turn in a couple of pieces of paper, and recharter is done. And then you want to make sure that you're having fun. What we do in scouting really matters. I said it before, I'll say it again. Folks, I believe this with my whole heart. It's why I do what we do. We are preparing the next generation of leaders, and they have got some big challenges. There are all sorts of crazy things going on in our world, and we're going to help them to be prepared to make a difference. That's what you're doing. That's why this is so important. And we can't do that if families don't know that we're there. So with that, make sure you contact your district executives. In Douglas, Coos, and Curry counties, I'm your guy, Rob McLuhan, field director. There's my number, there's my email. Hopefully everybody's got that. I'm really easy to get to. In Lane County, it's Sandy Munoz. In Benton and Lincoln counties, it's Sherry Haywood. We are here to help you guys, whatever you need. That's our job. We are so appreciative. I can't believe how lucky I am that, I get to do this all the time, 24/7, because this is the best job in the world. And that is the end of that. So I'm going to kill that piece. We've got just a couple of minutes left. Yay us. Look at us getting all of that in there in just under an hour. Anybody got any questions, queries, thoughts that they want to share, things that have really worked, things that haven't worked? Everything you said, Rob, it's all, no. It does work. I've seen it work. Anybody? Claudette, anything you want to add from our commissioner's standpoint?
Well, from my Oh, well, I am unmuted. From my perspective, the points that you made about collecting the information and possibly even fees that are needed, particularly if there are added program fees because of increased cost associated with the changes that we have in chartered organizations, because it's going to make rechartering so much easier. And also having the availability of information about how to contact people in the unit. If you have a question, if you can't reach out and find out what you need to know to get to the next unit activity or meeting, you're going to walk away because you just simply don't have that information. So the units that have leadership in place, perhaps a communication contact for new members, a budget and a calendar, and the directory that they can provide, those are the ones that are going to be able to easily transition new members into the unit. And I wholeheartedly endorse everything that was said about fun. If you were at the Greenwood Cascade Roundtable the other night, you heard Tony Westover talk about the importance of having fun. I mean,
Sure, I understand.
it's that's my watch. just like people don't necessarily recall what you say to them, they recall how you made them feel. And I think that's true of activities and events. And so for a welcoming recruiting event, if you can have the family and the kids walk out of there feeling good and excited, you're going to have success.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm zipping through the chat here, and I'm sorry I was talking fast and all of that. I'm making sure that we've got everything covered. Hopefully everybody has seen the stuff going through the chat, but I do want to point a couple of things out on the PIN update. John Weimer, thank you for that answer. Commissioners cannot go into a unit's be a scout PIN and make changes, but district executives can. If a unit can't do it or needs some help, district executives can help. I can help. We can do all of that for you and help you to learn how to do it. And we're happy to walk through that stuff. Chris, thank you. Gosh, what is some great stuff here. Chris he's an old hand at this stuff. Unit calendar, contact list, where to get gear, where do I buy a uniform, a handbook, scout stuff, our local scout shop has everything that they need. Now we are going to be putting together just some basic generic welcome packets with some of this information in there, but we don't have every unit's calendar. We don't have your contact list. We don't have your welcome letter, but we are going to put in a flyer with some of the big upcoming events. You want to make sure that you're putting your stuff in too. We'll have something in there about the scout shop. Chris says, better with a buddy cards to give to friends. Yeah, unit, how many of you guys have business cards for your business? How many of you have them for your pack or your troop? Why not? You can make them at home. It's super easy. You can order them and get them super cheap, often free. Give them to your kids, make it a game, put a space on the back that they can sign their name to invite their friend. If it comes back, they get a prize. I mean, there's all sorts of things that you can do. This year, our kind of better with a buddy is that image that I showed you earlier of the business card where one side it says Ticket to Adventure with the Scout logo. And on the back, it shows all the programs with the QR code taking to our joining page. So we are going to be making those available. I'm getting those printed. Chris says Cub Grub, something they can make. Great idea. One of my favorites, armpit fudge. Every kid thinks that is so cool. Parents go, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? And the kids make fudge and they're just having a great time. And that's a great one. Scout Troop can help a pack make s'mores. Excellent. Membership tips. Love this, Chris. Always be asking. When you stop asking, you stop growing. Keep membership packets in your car for when you meet new families. Get a phone number or email and respond within 24 hours. All of those from Chris McCullough. And then, okay, we got all of those. Excellent, excellent. All right. 7:32, and we got all of the stuff in the chat. We've Anybody else? Any other questions for the good of the order?
Hey, Rob.
Yes, ma'am.
One of the things that we made for the event last week, or that I made, that's going to go on our membership page is for the PACs that don't have a yearly plan already. You need to have your whole year scheduled out, which seems intimidating, but I have a template that already has the upcoming events on it all the way through to Camp Baker Cub Camp, June 28th of next year. All you have to do, this will be, you can link it. You just go in and you substitute for some of these dates what your unit is going to do, and you've got your 1 year here. Then at the bottom, you put all the contact information. You put down that we're a member of which district, which council. You put the contact for each of your den leaders, your cub master. So this one sheet has everything that they need to know.
There you go.
So, and everywhere you go, like they were saying, recruiting is not just once a year at the back to school. You need to recruit year round. And so, like, for instance, on here, once a month, one of the events should be what you invite the public to. So if you're doing a family hike, you need to be on your public Facebook page saying, hey, families, come join us at Jones River Park for our family hike. Every month you need to have something that you're inviting the public to. So you just put that in your plan.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that'll be on the website so that you can access this, you can change around a few things, and you'll have it for your unit for the whole year.
Yeah, and we're going to get this entire presentation posted. All of these resources are going to be available. All of this stuff is coming very soon. And again, thank you for everything that you do in scouting. Thank you so much for taking the time tonight. Please reach out to other units near you. We don't have everybody represented tonight, and every unit needs to have this information. So if you know somebody in another pack or another troop and you didn't see them here tonight, reach out to them and let them know that these resources are going to be available. And again, call your district executives, call me. We're here to help you. There's nothing that you've got to create from scratch. And with that, hi, Matt. Matt just popped in. Matt's one of our great unit leaders and volunteer coordinators in our membership team. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and say, thanks, everybody. Have a great night, and let's adventure on. Hashtag. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Rob.